TheNightmareDuke, and welcome to another Fallout 76 video. And today got a bit of a quicker video for you. So lately there's been a bit of a trend for the daily challenges to be, kill 5 legendary enemies, or kill 3 legendary enemies, or kill a 3-star legendary creature, or something like that. Now, of course, that could have just come around because, of course, the weekend event was the script surplus. But if that does decide to sort of stick around, then hopefully this video can help you out. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm just going to be showing you a couple of ways to sort of more easily and reliably find legendary enemies around the map instead of, just running around hoping to find one or waiting for a nuke to drop on, Scorchbeast Queen or Earl sort of thing. So this is not a hack or a glitch or a dupe or anything like that, just a sort of some more reliable options for you to take a look at and hopefully get your dailies and all of that done a whole lot quicker. So yeah, hopefully this helps you out. If it does, then hey, consider liking and subscribing, and let's just get straight into things. So while I was thinking of more reliable ways to get access to legendary enemies in the game, I won't use my friend's suggestion, which was this, because, well, that's not exactly a viable option for, the majority of the people playing the game. No, my recommendation when it comes to legendary enemies and getting a more reliable way to, have access to them would be the events in the game. Now, I'm not talking about the events like the blast zones, which, spawn Colossal Problem and, Scorchbeast Queen down in the south. And I'm not talking about the events that you get notified on the server about. So, for example, Campfire Tales, the events that give you the treasury notes and the legendary cores. Not those events, so not Radiation Rumble or Uranium Fever, all of those, which are great for, legendary enemies. But the problem with those is when you're waiting for them to spawn, generally they never spawn because, well, you're waiting for them. And oftentimes you'll miss out on tagging the enemy, like especially in something like Uranium Fever, because, well, players just kill it before you can even get there and have a chance of getting a tag on it, sort of thing. Now, my recommendation are the events around the map that you don't get notified about. So, for example, Leader of the Pack. It doesn't get notified on the server. It doesn't give you legendary cores or treasury notes. So generally, there's no one ever at these events, and these events are really great for pretty much reliable and guaranteed legendary spawns. So that's what my recommendation is going to be. I'll give you sort of, I think, 3 or 4 of them, so we'll get into that now. So the first recommendation for an event is going to be Leader of the Pack. Now, Leader of the Pack, great little event, up there at sort of Tyler County Fairgrounds. Generally it's in the forest area, so it's mainly your low-level players and your new players that are, going about their tasks and all of that there. So you generally never really see many players at this event, and, well, I don't mind it, because, well, this event gives you 3 guaranteed legendaries. You have to kill the 3 Wolfpack leaders as part of the event, and each one of those is a 1-star legendary wolf. So doing the event will get you 3 legendary enemies, which, hey, can get your daily done. It can work towards your weekly quite nicely. It gets your daily event done. And as well as when you complete this event, it spawns the event Wolf Horde. Now, the Wolf Horde event, then it marks that location specifically on your map. That enemy, that Wolfpack leader, can spawn as a legendary. Generally, it doesn't, but it can spawn as a legendary. So technically, doing the Leader of the Pack event and then the subsequent one that it spawns directly for you can net you 4 legendaries in total and 2 events. So it works great for your dailies, your weeklies. Just a really nice event. Generally, no one shows up for it because, again, it's just in an area that high-level players generally don't sort of do anything in. It doesn't sort of get, pinged out to the whole server sort of thing, and yeah, it's usually completely quiet at that event. Maybe every now and then you'll see some player doing it. Generally it'll be like a low-level player, but yeah, really useful and reliable event, especially with the current dailies that have been going around sort of thing. There are only 1 stars, but again, it is 3 legendary enemies if you are interested in that. So my second recommendation when it comes to the events is going to be the Horde events. So the Horde events can spawn anywhere on the map. They can be, a Mirelurk Horde, it can be a Rad Rat Horde, a Gulper Horde, a Super Mutant Horde, a Wolf Horde. It doesn't really matter, but the main thing to take away from this one is, again, generally don't really see people doing it, and the enemy, like the boss enemy that you have to kill for the event, is a guaranteed 3-star. So generally that will get you your 3-star legendary creature daily done, no problem. And hey, it's a 3-star, so if you're just looking for, to farm up, legendary weapons or armor. It is a 3-star. Other times I've had multiple enemies there spawn as legendaries. So another great sort of one to just jump in and get done. It doesn't take long at all. The only problem with it can be is if sometimes it spawns in like a place like Watoga. I had one where it was a Rat horde. It spawned in Watoga, and well, the lovely robots of the city decided to help out, and they just killed everything for me. So sometimes if there is a player just anywhere on the map and the horde event spawns and you go and activate it and the horde spawns where that particular player is, well, if it spawns on top of them, they're going to kill it. So sometimes it sort of gets auto-completed before you have a chance because of just the unlucky spawn sort of thing, but that doesn't happen too often, and generally you can get there before, well, anyone even knows anyone's even doing the event, because again, generally most players don't really do it. It's kind of like a copper squatter, you know, you sort of just log on and it auto completes because someone's just at that location and that has killed the enemy sort of thing, and you know, it auto completes for you sort of thing. But for a 3-star, it is a nice, reliable and guaranteed way. And I've had it where they've spawned back-to-back as well. So really nice event to check out for a 3-star legendary enemy. And then another one that you can check out is AWOL Armaments. So that is the one over at Robco. It is a robot event. It's a wave event. There's 3 waves. And now the nice thing about this is there's a chance for the boss of each wave basically to spawn as a legendary Mr. Gutsy. I've had it where every wave spawns a legendary Mr. Gutsy. I've had it where sometimes it's only 1 or 2 of the waves, but the nice thing as well is that the boss of the final wave is always a 3-star Mr. Gutsy as well. So another great, guaranteed and reliable 3-star enemy that you can sort of, you know, get a tag on and, you know, just farm up some legendaries, or if you need it for the daily or the weekly or whatever sort of thing. Again, each wave has the potential to spawn it. Generally, when you go by yourself, it doesn't spawn as many robots. The more people there, I think the more it spawns. I've had it where there's a ridiculous amount of robots coming in, and there's been like 3 of us. But yeah, another really great event. Of course, that won't help for the 3-star creature daily, but there is some days where it's just kill a legendary 3-star enemy and not specifically a creature. So another great event to sort of keep an eye out for to get the legendary more reliably sort of thing. Now, that's not to say that the other events are bad. Scorch Beast Queen, Earl, Rad Rumble, all of those, really, really great events for legendaries as well. But some of those events like Uranium Fever and Rad Rumble, sometimes the legendaries get killed before you can get a tag on it. So they're not as reliable in that regard, as well as the fact that sometimes they just take way longer to spawn if they're on a really bad RNG rotation. I've had it some days where I haven't seen Rad Rumble for like 5 days sort of thing. So these events tend to generally spawn quite more regularly. There can be multiple of them up at once as well. I've had it where there's multiple horde events. I've had it where there's a leader of the pack on a horde event. So even if you just jump between a couple of servers, generally you'll probably run into quite a few of these events with little issue. Whereas you can spend a while trying to find something like a Rad Rumble. Since there can only be ever one of those kind of events active at a time. It has to finish before another one will spawn, whereas the other events that don't reward legendary cores and treasury notes, there can be multiple of them active, you know, in one server sort of thing. So they are a bit more reliable and easier to come across than some of the sort of more desired kind of events, if you want to call them that sort of thing, that give you the cores and the treasury notes and stuff. But that will be my recommendations for this video. And there you have it, folks. Just a couple of ways that can sort of maybe help you get a bit more guaranteed and reliable source of legendaries, whether you need it for the dailies or the weekly, or whether you need it just because, you know, for events such as Script Surplus, or if you just want to farm up legendaries because, well, you want legendary sort of thing. Hopefully that helps you out. But hey, if you know of any other ways or sort of more reliable sort of locations where you generally have quite a bit of luck, then hey, sound off down in the comments below, and to sort of help other players out if you're willing to share your secrets, of course. But for now, that'll be all for this video. As always, if you like, then hey, consider liking and subscribing and sticking around. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.